Sponsor license restructuring, number one. Secondly, what if a worker never started their position, their job offer, even after visa approval? And number three is the license start date. How relevant is it? Do CoS applications really expire from the sponsor management system? These are the 3 points I'm going to discuss in today's video. To begin with, I'll discuss our priority slots, which we are regularly getting. Guaranteed priority slots, we got one on Monday and two on Tuesday, yesterday. So I'll put the screenshot now for the Monday one, and then I'll start my discussions, information sharing. Monday, 27th of July at 8:55 a.m. There is a screenshot now on your screen. Now let's discuss restructuring. Either this is very common nowadays, which I've seen. Sponsors have changed something, either shareholding or a holding company has been added in between, or some type of restructuring has happened, and that has not been notified to Home Office. I've recently done two sponsor license applications within the last 1 month only. One was for a care home, one was for a pharmacy, where the restructuring was done long back, almost 6 months to a year back, but the reporting was not done. After that, they made a request for allocations. Home Office checked, something happened, they check it from the company's house, they get the information, and they reject that request, CoS request, because that reporting has not been done. And it delays everything a lot, because once that is reported, after that, usually a new sponsor license is required. And once the reporting goes in, there are many steps in this. After that, sometimes usually Home Office does take 4 to 6 months, usually 6 months or so, just to reply to that reporting and say you need a new license. Yes, there is some pre-planning goes in where we do the reporting, and at the same time we make a sponsor license application rather than waiting for Home Office. So there is a way to structure this properly. Yes, if you need advice, book a consultation with me. At least anytime any changes are happening, shares are being transferred, if it's a small business between brothers, sisters, parents, whatever that is within the family, or if there is a restructuring has happened, maybe a holding company has been added, or any change has happened in the ownership in one way or the other, even if 50% or less amount of shares are transferring in a small family business, many times Home Office would ask you for a new license. I've seen that. So I know employers keep it, they forget about this, they never report this, and it becomes a problem. So that is an important one. Now I will put the second screenshot of the priority slot. The priority slot is to get, usually for allocations or any other change on the sponsor license, sponsor management system, that is eligible for priority slots. Most of the requests that we are doing are for cost allocations, either annual or in year. So the second slot, second screenshot for the second approval, which was yesterday, 28th of July, Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. That's on the screen now. Anyone can research, investigate, it's real and all. And I'll take the second point over here, which I said about was a worker whose visa was approved, the skilled worker visa was approved. The employer has assigned the CoS with a particular start date. Either it was approved before the start date or even after that. Many times, currently the situation is Home Office also investigates the skilled worker application, where they call for an interview or they send an email to the sponsor asking for more information, documents, etc., etc. Sometimes they arrange a remote compliance audit of the employer. So that does take time. Irrespective of whether the application, skilled worker application, was approved before or after the work start date, there is an obligation on the employer. If the worker never reports to work, they can try follow up, try to contact the worker. It happens. I've seen such situations. But employers try this and then they forget about it. I don't know why and how, but don't ask me that. But I have spoken to employers during consultations, and this has happened. And they are also scared. We've sponsored and this person never reported, or something happened. There is an obligation on the employer to report. If an employee has not reported to work after the work start date, if the visa is already approved, or if the visa is approved after the work start date, at least within 28 days, they can try to locate the worker. And if they don't report, they are required to cancel the sponsorship. They are required to report, go into the SMS, say we are no longer sponsoring this migrant. There is a drop down option saying they never started work, something like that, and they have to report. It's a very important one. This becomes a problem because employers forget to report this, maybe 3 4 months, 6 months, I don't know for what reasons. And after that, if nowadays Home Office is asking for the payroll records and all, And if that employee's visa is approved, Home Office would expect a payroll to be run unless the reporting has been made and the sponsorship has been cancelled. So that's a very, very important point. Employers get caught up in this situation and it becomes a problem. Assigning costs or applying for costs for the genuine or the employees who are already working for extensions and all, they become a problem for some employee who never joined. So reporting, this is one of the things I always say: reporting, reporting, reporting. It's very, very important. Report on time. If you don't know the first point of restructuring or this one, report always. If Home Office doesn't need it, they will ignore it. Now I'll put the third screenshot on the screen for the priority cost allocation that was received yesterday, Tuesday 28th of July, 10:50 a.m. 10:50 a.m. So that is a screenshot on your screen. Can look, investigate. If you do need priority service, there will link in the description. Click on it, fill up the form. It's a short form asking only for sponsor license details, sponsor license number, sponsor license name, authorizing officer's name, and the date of request and the type of request. Give the correct type of request. If you're not sure, just send us the screenshots. Below the form, you'll have the screenshot options of the license summary page and the type of request, annual or in year. Send us the screenshots, we will figure out and we'll fill up the form on your behalf. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so point number 3, I'll keep that screenshot on the screen. And the third one I was going to address was license start date. Very, very important. When since this priority service slots service that we have started, where we obtain the slots on behalf of the employer, almost 2 months or so, just under 2 months, we have seen many, many employers, they apply, they send us all the information, everything is fine. When we apply to the Home Office, then things get rejected. And then when we try to ask the employer to research, give us the screenshot and all, when they go in, that particular request is no longer there. It's just vanished. It happens. So why does this happen? Every license has a license start date. If you scroll down, maybe I'll show it on the screen. There is a license start date, which is a specific date for every license. That is the date usually when the license was approved for the first time, when the approval email comes, and that is the license start date. So that is there logged on the license summary page. If you see on the sponsor management system, on that date, any request that was filed before or even on that date, that will be deleted as soon as it reaches overnight 12 o'clock on that day. For example, let's say the date was 31st of July, if the license start date. On that, any request made before 31st of July, if they are pending, either in year or annual, whatever that is, if they are not decided, approved or rejected, that is what I mean by decided. On 31st of July, you may see it, but as soon as the midnight passes, 12 a.m. midnight on 31st, so basically first midnight, at that time all the requests will be deleted. What happens even after 31st, on 5th of August or 10th of August, employers will think, oh, the request is still there, because they will never go and check. But when they send us the request for the priority slot, we apply and we don't get the slots. When we ask them to go and check the screenshot, that's when at least I remember at least 4 or 5 employers had this situation where they sent us a request, we tried the slot, we said no, something is wrong, give us the screenshot. And when they tried to get the screenshot, there was nothing there to take a screenshot. It is a common one. Go and check if that date has passed and make the request again. There is nothing, that's not the end of the world. If the request has expired from the system because you have reached the license start date, it says start date, it's basically a reset date every year where all the requests go back to zero. Even all the allocations go back to zero. If you have an allocation setting, this was another situation. If you have an allocation, use it. Yeah, this is another thing I know. We dealt with an employer where I don't know, they were misadvised by some other rep or something. They were not misadvised. Basically, it was just an oversight, as I would see. Uh, a CoS was requested, I think, and by the rep or the employer, the CoS was there. The employer asked the rep, should we assign? They said, no, 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 the visa is there, so let's assign in the last month or something. But by the time that rep did not knew that the license start date will pass, and it passed, that CoS allocation deleted went back to zero. And when they tried to assign it closer to the expiry of the individual's permission, they didn't have a CoS. That's where we went in. We did a pending CoS application. There was no solution. So that is the other one that we do. You will see it on other videos where I explain what a pending CoS is. Summarily, we file an application without a CoS. Usually up to 60 days, we would be able to buy from Home Office to provide the CoS, and then we send the CoS. So we did that, I think. Then we got the priority slot, and then we got the CoS. and I think within a month or so we sorted the person out. Yeah, this is another one where employers may not know or others may not know. The license start date is quite important. So this is what I wanted to address. All three screenshots. If you need priority slots, click the blue link in the description, fill up the form. It will take about 4-5 minutes of your time, and almost guaranteed within 24 hours, 90% of the times we get the slots. Worst case scenario, within 72 hours. Yes, just give us the correct screenshots, we will get the slot. I can almost guarantee, yeah, rather guarantee, yeah. So that was the proof of everything, and it's a no win no fee. So you don't pay us anything. You just fill up the form or send us the screenshots. We apply for the slots. We get the slots. Only after that you are liable to pay our service fee of £299. That's our service fee to get the priority slot. After that, remember, you also have to pay the home office priority slot fees for the faster consideration is £350. So once you make our fees, then we send you the priority slot link. You make the payment of the home office, then it goes into the prioritization queue, and from that point forward, within 5 working days, home office makes a decision. Either they make a decision or they ask for additional documents. So our job is till that point to get the priority slot. For any advice on the review of the documents, anything before or anything else, there are consultation sessions, 10-minute sessions, 30-minute sessions, etc. You can find it on the website or just email or call office, and someone should be able to get back to you. That's it. I'll put other links also of the consultations if you need advice on any matters. But the main one, this video was for the priority slots. And thank you very much for watching.